Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is the big man Boisterous coming to you with some Team League Tenacity out of the Fossil Quarry. Up here in the top right hand corner we have the team that consists of Mark Rocks as the red Protoss, Jason X as the blue Terran, Winterborn RH as the light blue Terran, and finally Top Madness as the purple Terran. And over here in the bottom left hand corner we have as their enemy some guy spawning in as the yellow Protoss, Petros spawning in as the pink Zerg, Staccato spawning in as the green Protoss, and finally Booth spawning in as the orange Protoss. So anyway guys, this game has actually been quite a while coming because I recorded it 2 weeks ago and then the audio broke. So I never ended up posting it, and then I kind of forgot about it. So sorry to Mark Rocks, who did submit this game for his series of games from the Clan RH 4v4 placement to Masters. And this isn't technically the fifth game in that series. The fifth game was actually the last game that I commentated. I think it's the longest one. I think it's 15 minutes long. The video is, at least. And we do have Jason X going for a reasonably fast barracks, and so far in this series these guys have been remarkably cheesy, except for in game 4, which was technically game 5, where they actually played a long game and completely crushed their opponents. They do enjoy their cheese, and it looks like Petros is going for a 15 pool. That's a bit late, I would say. And we do have really nothing out of the ordinary coming out of any of the players in the bottom left hand corner. We have a reasonably fast gas coming out of Booth, actually. Not that fast, but you know, definitely faster than Mark Rocks. And it looks like both of our teams are scouting pretty effectively. We have a cybernetics core coming out of Booth, so again, nothing out of the ordinary. We have one barracks out of each of our Terran player in the top right hand corner, so nothing amazingly cheesy like a 2-racks. Actually, they are saving up for something though. Especially Jason X, actually. He's pulling up to 200 minerals, so I'm not sure quite what he's going to be going for. Mark Rocks is doing a fairly standard build with the Cyber Core going down, and we do have a Roachborn coming out of Petros, so that's definitely going to be very good for defense. Roaches are quite amazing defensive units. Especially in the early game, where they're basically just tanks, and they demolish most of the lighter units like Marines. Roaches absolutely destroy Marines in a battle of cost efficiency. But we have with 3 Terran, you can get a fairly big amount of Marines out. And it looks like we have a fast factory coming out of Winterborn RH and also out of Jason X, so I wonder what they're going to be going for. Is this going to be the same Hellion Rush that we saw in one of their other games, where they basically just ran into a base and absolutely demolished the drone line of one player until the player cussed them out and left? That would be interesting. But we do have a Stargate interestingly placed right under Petros' Overlord, so this is actually his teammate's Overlord, because Team RH does not have any Zerg. Whoops, and there we go. Now this is more their style. Here comes the 6-racks out of Top Madness, because if you think you might be in danger of losing a 4v4, she's like a monster. So anyway, I'm actually going to really quickly explain what Clan RH is, and it is the clan that I am a part of. You guys can go ahead and apply to the clan at rhgaming.com. It's a pretty big StarCraft clan. It has a nice mentoring community, a nice mentoring system, I should say, in which you can basically just get like a high-level player, Diamond Masters, Grandmaster, from your race to help you out and to help you out and help you learn the game and become better at the game. It also supports a couple of tournaments from everywhere, from a lot of places. We do actually have Siege Mode coming out along with a Banshee, so this is an interesting siege tank Banshee rush out of Winterborn, or out of Jason X, excuse me. And also Clan RH is going to be going pretty deep into Diablo 3, so if that's your if that's your cup of tea, like the Diablo 3 kind of scene, they would love to have you. So we would love to have you, excuse me. And you can head on over to rhgaming.com to sign up. We do have Booth coming in with the easily scouted DTs, due to the fact that this observer is already out, actually by miraculous timing from Mark Rocks, really. That observer came out basically as the DTs got to his base. And we now have the entire army from Top Madness, which has been given over to Winterborn RH, as you can tell by the marine symbols, and they're just gonna get cut the hell up. And there we go. Is this DT gonna live? Nah, there's no way. And there's really nothing amazingly cheesy coming out from these players. I mean, except for, you know, the 6 racks, obviously. But even that, I mean, like 6 racksing in 4v4s is kind of a legit play. It's even, I would say, easily countered by 1 Zerg, especially if you have like 2 players going for 6 raxes. It can get countered pretty easily just by, like, you know, banlings or fast infestors, because, you know, there's nothing better than having infestors out and then somebody tries to break your army down with just massive mass marine forces and having like 3 infestors and just taking out their entire army with 0 losses because they didn't tech it all and they also didn't get combat shields. And this is what I'm talking about with how good roaches are. They were demolishing that marine force for cost at least. You know, they did pretty freaking good in that engagement. The Protoss army was not nearly as good because the Zealots just got torn to bits. However, those roaches getting misclicked around, typically you don't want all of your roaches to just randomly try to attack, and it looks like we have a reasonable angle for the defending forces here. But as soon as that Sage tank gets off, it's going to be over. And actually, the Immortals getting microed pretty well into defending. Looks like we have an Observer running around. Actually, a pretty nice Zealot Warping is going to do a bit of damage to the main. Neither of the Zealots doing anything especially amazing. The Warp Prism is going to get taken out. But here comes the attack out of this army, and I don't think that they're quite going to be able to defend on both fronts at once. I think that this attack is about to get cleaned up. The reinforcements were not quite strong enough. But that was a pretty damaging attack for our Clan RH players. Plus the fact is that now you have the follow-up of just the 6 Marines just constantly streaming in, and now all those roaches need to turn around to try to deal with this, and so much damage has already been done up here. Plus the siege tanks are completely entrenched right here. And there we go, Booth calling the GG, Top Madness being all manner, calling GG sir. Looks like Booth and Staccato have both left the game. Is Petros going to be trying to hold on to here? Alright, everybody from the enemy team has left the game except for Petros. Let's go, Petros. I'm going to speed this up, get a little bit more of a montagey feel to this. We do have Petros trying drastically to defend here. He's cleaned up this tackle from this side, but there's going to be a whole lot coming in from over here for him. And how long is he going to stay in this game? Let's see. He basically cannot do anything at this point. He is absolutely and completely dead. And there we go, Petros has left the game. So anyway, guys, this has been Boisterous, finally wrapping off this placement to Masters. I'm probably going to try to link all these videos together with video links, so you guys can expect to have the ability to just click on, you know, game 1, game 2, game 3, game 4 from each of the other games. And also, you guys can send in any of your games that you want casted over to boisteroussc2@gmail.com. I'm currently looking for some 2v2 games, really, mainly, because 2v2 games are fun to cast, and I think they're kind of fun to watch, even more so than 1v1 games for most people, because 2v2 games are very dynamic, in the fact that you have 2 players playing different races against each other. I think it makes a much more insane kind of concept. Plus, if you guys go watch my Troll and Ramar game, nuclear missiles get used a lot more in 2v2s, and it is so much better. So anyway, guys, head on over to youtube.com/user/boisteroussc2 if you guys want to subscribe, or comment, or you can also head on over to the Battle.net thread that is going to be in the video description for this video to bump that up to the front page, post whatever you feel like posting there. If you guys think I'm doing something right, doing something wrong, I don't care. I prefer to get the criticism now rather than later. So of course you guys can post there. I think that's all I wanted to say. So this is Boisterous signing out.